Hey there, friends. Welcome to the Better Postpartum Podcast. I'm your host, Angel Swan, crunchy mom, coffee addict, and postpartum doula turned new mom coach. This podcast is your audio guide to not just surviving, but thriving during those early newborn days. If you want to care for yourself, your household, and your baby with confidence, grab your earbuds because this is the only podcast that you need. So what do you say? Should we get started with today's episode? Let's do this. Hey friends, long time no talk. If you're a regular listener, I'm sorry. I kind of ghosted you for basically the entire summer. I did announce the winner of the free backpack giveaway on Instagram. So congratulations to MD484. She was the lucky winner of that backpack. But basically the reason for me being gone was we bought our first house. So it was for a good reason, I promise. It took a lot of hard work, and we still have so much more work to do, but I finally have a working internet connection, so I am back. Woo! I'm so ready to be back. I missed this like so much. I missed it. So let's just jump right back in. Today's episode was inspired by my very own sister-in-law. She's pregnant with her first baby, and she just had her baby shower. Now, while I was looking over her baby registry, I noticed she had all kinds of amazing, really cute, functional items on there. She's so fashionable. I'm so jealous. But of all those things that were on her registry, she literally had just one thing for herself. No, actually, I'll give her credit. She had two. She had, I think, nipple butter and breast milk storage bottles. And that was it. I could not believe that, having me as her sister-in-law, she didn't think to put more stuff on there, but I guess I didn't do my job, so bad job me. But I couldn't believe she didn't have anything on there for her own, postpartum recovery. Birthing a child, birthing a baby is no freaking joke. It wreaks absolute havoc on your body. You must have postpartum care items on hand to help you be comfortable and heal faster after birth. So, today's episode is all about postpartum care essentials for moms. Are you ready? So I'm just going to go by category here and break down each category of things that you need to care for, and then the items to have on hand to care for those things. So first of all, any person who gives birth is going to have postpartum bleeding, also known as lochia. And I've definitely talked about this in past episodes. So you're going to be bleeding a little bit heavier if you had a vaginal birth. If you had C-section, you're still going to have some bleeding. So you always need to have maternity pads on hand. They are larger and thicker than a typical maxi pad. If you have a hospital birth, you can actually grab a ton of these maternity pads before you head home. And they'll bring you a big stack of them. Just shove those in a bag and then be like, oh, I ran out. And basically do that same thing for anything you get in the hospital. Take what they give you and then tell them that you ran out and take more. Because listen, it's free stuff. They've got it on hand. Take it. You're going to run out of it soon anyways. Just take the extra stuff. So the maternity pads. Next, you should probably grab mesh underwear. They also give these to you at the hospital. These are breathable, comfy, stretchy, and disposable. And they're very comfortable, very popular with all postpartum moms who give birth in the hospital. There's been a lot of really empowering photos that moms are sharing of them in their mesh underwear with their maternity pad all bulky up in there. It's good stuff. It's really comfortable. So if you can get your hands on some, definitely grab them. The next thing, it's called Chuck's pads. CHUX. It's basically a puppy pad, but it's meant to be for people, for humans. So it's just a waterproof pad that you lay wherever you're going to sit or be laying down. So you put it on your bed, Put it on a chair, on your couch, wherever you're going to be hanging out in the early postpartum days when you're having especially heavy bleeding, just to prevent any accidental bleeding on your furniture. Next is the large, stretchy, comfy underwear. So yes, the mesh underwear is great. But if you're like me, you're a little bit crunchy, you want to stay away from the disposable things, then just invest in some granny panties, real stretchy granny panties. Or if you have like period underwear, that should probably work too. But it should be, honestly, the granny panty style is best because it's going to be the most comfortable. If you have a C-section, it's not going to bother your incision. But whatever underwear you decide to go with, it should be dark colored. It should be big enough to hold those big, bulky maternity pads. And again, just make sure they're stretchy because we don't want to be causing any irritation down there. And most importantly, you just want to be comfy and cozy after birthing your baby. And then in addition to the maternity pads, just get a bunch of regular pads too. Pads, and more pads, I wrote. So overnight pads, like the maxi pads are good. Urinary incontinence pads are also good. Some moms just go and buy a pack of Depends. It's basically like a pad and mesh underwear all in one. But if you're going with the pads, you can get like medium or light flow pads to use as your bleeding slows down. And the bleeding usually stops around 6 weeks postpartum. Sometimes it takes 8 weeks. Just remember to change your pads often. Do not use a tampon, whatever you do. We don't want to put anything up in there until you're okay, like given the clear by your doctor to resume normal activity. Reason being, when you give birth and when the placenta detaches from your uterine wall, it actually leaves a gaping hole. It's a wound where the placenta was. So it's the size of a dinner plate. It's a very big wound. And so inserting things into the vagina is not a good idea because it can cause infection of that wound. And just trust me, you don't want to deal with infection on top of everything else that you're dealing with after having a baby. All right, so that's it for the bleeding. Now we're going to move on to care items to treat vaginal soreness after vaginal birth. So first up is the peri bottle. These are also available when you give birth in the hospital. They usually will give you 2 of them. But basically, it's a little squirt bottle. It's a squeeze bottle. You fill it up with warm water and you gently squeeze it to run a stream of warm water over your perineum while you use the bathroom, while you use the toilet, and after each trip to the bathroom. So when you're done, use it to clean up, keep yourself clean, and please remember to gently pat yourself dry. Do not wipe because that's really going to hurt. Next up is numbing products. So this is going to be like a numbing spray, cream, or foam to help ease the pain. I usually go for the spray. It's just easier to apply. You don't have to be touching stuff down there, less chance of infection. My professional opinion is go for the numbing spray. There's natural sprays on Amazon. I think, what is it? Earth Mama, I think is the brand that I got from my sister-in-law. It's good stuff. The stuff that they give you in the hospital, I believe, is called Dermaplast. And for me, that actually kind of burned a little bit. It was too much. So just if something's too uncomfortable, then opt for maybe the natural product over the one that they give you in the hospital. Next up is your pain meds, obviously. You're going to want Tylenol or Motrin as your go-to. Sometimes it's good to like switch between the two so you're not taking one all throughout the day. Sitz bath is next. So a sitz bath is a small tub of warm water. They give you this in the hospital too. But it's just a piece of plastic, a little tub that sits over the toilet bowl. And you can sit in warm water, you can sit in cold water. So you can sit in a warm sitz bath for about 20 minutes, and this is going to promote circulation and healing. And then sit in a cold bath for 20 minutes to reduce swelling and pain. So basically any other injury, you alternate warming and cooling on the site of the injury. It's the same kind of thing, and this is a safe way to do it. Next up is your ice packs. So you can grab the disposable padsicles from the hospital. It's just like a pad that has, have you ever had like hot hands? Have you ever tried those before? Or if you've played sports, maybe you've had the ice packs that they just kind of break, and then it gets cold really quickly with chemical reaction that happens. It's the same thing, but it's just like long and pad shaped to go on your perineum. So you can grab those at the hospital. They're great. I like to try and find things that are reusable. So you can find reusable padsicles on Amazon. And if you look up like perineal gel packs, you should find them on there. I think I also have them in my Amazon store, which I can link to in the show notes. So everything that I'm mentioning here, you can find on Amazon. But again, a lot of the stuff they just give you for free. But if we want the reusable stuff, I think it's worth the investment to get those things just to, be a little more eco-friendly. And if you do decide to have more kids, save all your stuff, don't get rid of it. You can use the same stuff over and over and over again for each kid. And then let's see, next up for vaginal soreness is Tux pads. So this is basically just they're sterile little wipes almost, but they're called pads. It's a wipe. But it's just a witch hazel pad that you can use to line your underwear or maternity pad. And this is going to soothe hemorrhoids and perineal pain. If you get like the natural perineal spray that I mentioned earlier, they usually have witch hazel in them too. It's just an excellent ingredient for soothing pain in general. Next up is your donut pillow. You don't have to get a donut pillow if you don't want to buy one. You can use a regular pillow. You can roll up a towel and then kind of make it into the shape of a donut or a U and sit on that. And the idea is it's making sitting more comfortable by relieving pressure off of your swollen perineum or off of hemorrhoids, because those things are so serious if you just pushed out a baby. Next up is, believe it or not, healthy foods, snacks, and drinks. So you should, if you can, before baby comes, prepare healthy food in advance that you can like freeze and heat up later, just so you're not scrambling and eating junk foods. Processed foods tend to cause more inflammation in the body. This is not something that you want if you're recovering from birth. We're trying to reduce inflammation. We're not trying to increase it. Also, the healthy foods are going to give your body the resources it needs to perform all of its functions, okay? Which includes healing. So you need extra care with your food so that your body can do its job and take care of you. The last up is stool softener, because pooping with a sore perineum is really difficult, and you should avoid straining while you're healing. Don't be pushing. Pooping should be easy. It should not be a difficult task. And so now moving on for C-section care, we're going to just keep the stool softener because it's even worse when you have a C-section. The postpartum poop is difficult. And so after you have a C-section, you need to be especially careful because you have that incision in your abdomen, and all the meds that you have to be on to have your C-section causes constipation, which obviously needs to be treated. And you're not going to be able to do it on your own by eating a lot of fiber. You really do need the stool softener to help, because we don't want to be straining and potentially cause irritation, damage to the incision site. The next thing for your C-section recovery is going to be a pillow. So the pillow is just there to support your belly. So keep this pillow handy. Anytime that you get up or down, you roll, you cough, you sneeze, you laugh. Basically, anytime you're going to be engaging your core, you can put this pillow up against your abdomen, really against your lower belly, to just provide support. So providing counter pressure as you get up and down and do these things is going to provide support and be more comfortable to help you get around. And you should also use soft, loose-fitting clothes. When you have oversized clothes, it reduces the risk of irritation to your incision site. Also, you're just going to be so comfy cozy. Who doesn't want that? Next thing that we're going to be caring for is your breasts. Whether you're breastfeeding, bottle feeding, your milk is going to come, even if you're not breastfeeding. So you need to have the tools to take care of your breasts because you're going to have engorgement, you're going to have discomfort. It's going to happen, so you should be ready. First thing is a supportive wireless bra. So stretchy nursing bras are really great. Even if you're not nursing, you can just opt for a stretchy bra. They basically look just like a nursing bra, but they don't have the clip to come down. Since I had my daughter, I have not switched back to regular bras. I won't do it. I just bought stretchy bras, and that's how I'm living my life. Do not wear underwire bras. This can cause clogs that lead to engorgement and possibly mastitis, which is so painful and really just puts you out. It's like the flu in your boobs, but you also have flu-like symptoms. It's just not good. So your bra should be comfy. It should support the weight of your breasts, and it should not be too tight. Loosey-goosey with support is what we're looking for. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but you'll know it when you feel it. Next up is breast pads. I highly recommend reusable bamboo nursing pads. You're going to save money and you're going to save the environment. You definitely need the breast pads to protect your clothes from leaked milk, because yes, you're going to leak. As your milk comes in those early days, you're going to leak way more. And milk stains are really hard to get out of your clothes. So another pro tip is maybe just wear some shirts that you don't care if they get ruined, because when milk gets on them, it's hard to get the stain out. You can also get disposable nursing pads. Those are another thing that you can stock up on at the hospital while you're there. Next up is your nipple cream. They will give you some at the hospital, so another thing you can stock up on. I prefer to get a natural nipple cream that is safe for your baby to consume. That way you don't have to remember about wiping off your nipples before each feeding or before pumping. You just get to it. Nipple cream is great for healing and protecting sore, cracked nipples. It also works as a lubricant while you're pumping. Again, if you can just double check, you can do a quick Google search, whatever nipple cream you already have, or when you're searching, just look for a natural nipple cream. Just make sure it's safe for your baby to consume. Most of them are. I've only come across a couple that are not. And I'm sorry, I don't have that list at the front of my mind right now, but just do a double check with your own cream. Just do a quick Google search. Next up is a breastfeeding pillow. Honestly, I was a little unsure of whether or not I wanted to include this on my list, but it is helpful in certain circumstances. You do not need to buy a special pillow just for breastfeeding. I will just say that first off. You don't have to, but there are some circumstances where it's very helpful. So the pillow that I recommend is called My Breast Friend. It's great because it's supportive and it has a strap that actually buckles in. So this thing, you can put it on and walk around using the pillow. It's not going to fall down. The boppy is usually a popular recommendation. I don't like the boppy. It's really better for propping your baby up when they're just sitting and chilling. It's not great for breastfeeding. It just falls down. It's uncomfortable. The whole purpose of a breastfeeding pillow is to reduce the strain on your back and neck. And if your pillow is constantly falling down, you're just going to have the strain. So I don't really see the point in that. My Breast Friend is the best one in my professional opinion. So the circumstances when this would be especially good for you to have is if you have a large breast, it'll help you get better positions going on. If you've had a C-section, it's going to help keep pressure off of your belly. Or if you're feeding twins, it'll help you get those good angles for breastfeeding and supporting the babies, because there's just one of you and two of them. Or God bless you if you have more than two. That is a challenge, and my heart goes out to you. Let me know if you need help. So, one last bonus item on the list that doesn't really fit into the other categories, but is really great to have, and I hooked my sister-in-law up with one, is a belly binder. So if you've had a C-section, I want to preface this, ask your doctor for the okay to use this. Typically, if you've had a C-section, you just need to wait for the outside incision to heal, and then you're in the clear to wear like tighter fitting clothes, also wearing belly binder. But basically, after giving birth, your body is flooded, and during birth too, but it's still in your system after birth. But your body gets flooded with a hormone called relaxin, and it causes your body to loosen up so that your pelvis can open and you can push a baby out. While the relaxin is still in your body, using a belly binder, so basically you want to start as soon as you can after giving birth, but using the belly binder is going to help keep your core tight. Without a belly binder, it might take a little bit longer to have that bounce back that so many moms are looking for. And again, a belly binder is it's not a cure-all. It's not going to get rid of your loose skin. There's really nothing for that but a tummy tuck. I say just embrace the loose skin. Your body has performed amazing things. Embrace it. But what the belly binder does is keep your core strong, so you don't have to suffer from things like diastasis recti, which is a separation of the abdominal muscles. So that would result in a more pronounced mom pooch and abdominal weakness. So your belly binder, just some criteria for you. And again, I'm going to put the ones that I recommend in my Amazon store and link to it for you guys. But your belly binder should come up all the way to your sternum. If it's lower than your sternum, you run the risk of, yes, you're going to tuck in your waist, but that relaxin is going to cause some misshapenness to happen, and you'll actually have a pooch up at the top of your abdomen. So your belly binder needs to come up high, up to your sternum, and it's best if it can come down and actually around your hips a little bit too. So really resting at like the top of your pubic bone. So from the top of your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum, that's the size that we're looking for the proper fit, to have the full effect of the belly binder. If you want to go a more traditional route with the belly binder, Bangkung belly binding is fantastic. It's a customized bind that you have to wrap every single day. It's a little more challenging, but if you're up for it, it does give you a little more support than these ones that you'll find on Amazon. But if you don't have the time for that, definitely these ones on Amazon are good. Just make sure that it has the proper fit. All right. That's all that I have for your postpartum care essentials for today. If I think of any more goodies, I will definitely let you know. But these are the things that I recommend for all moms to have to take care of your body after birth. If you have any questions or you want to suggest an episode topic, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram at angel.swan. You can always email me, angel@angelswan.com. Thanks again for listening, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Better Postpartum podcast. Here's what I want you to do next. If you loved what you heard today, would you do me a giant favor and leave me a written 5-star review? Those little love notes that you leave are the perfect way to thank me for putting out these episodes just for you. Seriously, it would mean the world to me. Next, take a screenshot of the episode you're listening to right now and share it on your Instagram stories, and make sure you tag me at angel.swan. That's SWON, so that more moms can find this podcast and hopefully get the advice and encouragement they need to truly thrive with their babies. And don't forget to come back every single week for more nuggets of wisdom and truth bombs about the early motherhood journey. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.